Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now today I want to talk about SUI because what we've seen twice before. And so, I think we might be at the point where we're starting to see a breakout. Obviously this could be, some level of different type of move that we are seeing, and maybe we don't see that type of breakout. But what I am saying is in the past 2 to 3 months, we've seen this two other times exactly. And so we're going to take a look at that on the chart here in a second, but I'm still very happy and bullish with what we're seeing with SUI overall. I do want to take a little bit closer look into the SUI ecosystem as well, because I've started to get a couple more questions about that. People are kind of looking for the next kind of SUI type move, and I think they're looking within the SUI ecosystem. So that's something we'll take a look at here. But before we do any of that, I did want to start taking a look at crypto bubbles, because again, crypto bubbles, we can kind of get a sense of where the market's at overall. We can see SUI up 2.6% on the day, Bitcoin up almost 6%. Ethereum up 4.2%. Again, this might be blocked by my picture, but overall, the market looking mixed. We're seeing, XRP down, Tron down, HTX down, HBAR down, IOTA down. Like some of these ones that have really been running pretty massive over the past couple of weeks are kind of pulling back a little bit. Again, I don't think this is anything crazy. It's just kind of, I would say, relatively normal given what we've seen over the past, couple of weeks or so. Now, looking at the SUI chart, though, I did want to talk a little bit about what we are seeing here, though, because as we can see, I want to talk a little bit about what we are seeing, or what we saw in the past and what we're seeing now. So the first time here we can see move to the upside, pulls down, consolidates a little bit, another really strong move to the upside here, right? So that's the first one. Second one we can see here, that same move to the upside, pull back, consolidate, boom, another amazing move to the upside here, right? Okay, well, what are we seeing again? Move to the upside, pull down, consolidate, and now we're starting to break again. Now, whether we see something similar like we've seen in the past where we do that, 1, 2, 3. Very possible. We've already seen it 2 other times within the past month or so. Actually, I think this is closer to 2 months. But point being, this is what the chart's done. And frankly, this is what good projects do that are kind of the top projects of the cycle. This is what they do in bull runs like this, right? They make a really strong move to the upside. They retrace a little bit, consolidate, do it again. Move up, retrace, consolidate, do it again. Retrace, consolidate, do it again. Retrace, consolidate, do it again, maybe, right? Question mark. So, overall, that's what we're seeing. Hopefully you can see kind of how I'm making that claim. It does look to me like it is a possibility, right? We've pulled back. We are sitting kind of in the strong range, not totally overbought, but we are sitting in the strong range. And so that is something where, maybe we need to watch it consolidate a little bit more potentially, but also, we are starting to see kind of that move to the upside after a little bit of consolidation here. We've seen the Bollinger Band squeeze a little bit. So, we are kind of seeing things looking primed like they're ready for that move to the upside. But again, maybe we kind of break out of this and continue to consolidate a little bit. Again, very possible thing. But overall, I guess the point being here is that the SUI chart looking really good. We have seen volume die a little bit, nothing too concerning. The average volume kind of sitting back what we are seeing here again in this kind of retrace consolidation period at this level. So overall, things looking pretty good here. Obviously, like I said, Bollinger Band squeezing pretty tight again, which usually, as we've talked about before, when Bollinger Bands squeeze like this means that there's going to be a point of volatility coming. It's not a guarantee which side it's going. It could be up, could be down. But given the fact that we are in a bull run, I do think when we start to see this and we're expecting volatility, I would expect, especially on something like SUI, it's going to be to the upside, just because that's kind of what we've seen in the past, and just given the fact that it's a bull run, more often than not, we're going to see things move to the upside. Just like in a bear run, we'd probably expect it to be a move to the downside for the same reason. So if you are interested in trading SUI, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, Solana, feel free to use my link in the description below. You can see I am doing another month of working with BTCC. They are still running their 10% bonus on first-time deposits, which is a really great thing. This is, in my opinion, a fantastic deal. If you're looking to trade anyway, you might as well get a 10% bonus on whatever you're doing, in my opinion. It seems like a pretty decent idea to me. And also keep in mind that this is in addition to the bonuses that new users normally get of up to $10,055. So again, pretty good deal there. We can see over 13 years old here, basically longer than most of us have been around in crypto. We can see 300 plus crypto futures. So, definitely massive swaths of the market that they cover. Also up to 500x leverage. I personally don't ever do 500x leverage. I don't even get close to that just because I don't think that's a good idea. But if that is something you're interested in doing and want to for whatever reason, you can feel free to do that. They do allow it. And also no VPN or KYC necessary. So if this is something you're interested in doing, feel free to use my link in the description below and go on ahead and get signed up and get started. Overall, I mean, really, really happy with BTCC. It's been a great platform that I've been using so far. So if you're interested, like I said, link in the description. Now, the thing I want to kind of end on and talk a little bit more in detail about here is the top SUI ecosystem tokens, because obviously, as we can see, SUI kind of the ecosystem overall, and then obviously there's USDC that has access to the SUI ecosystem. This is how probably people are holding a lot of funds as they're kind of looking to go within the SUI ecosystem if they're not using SUI itself. Now, what we can see, obviously, larger gainers here, trendings. Deepbook has been one that has kind of been mentioned a lot. If we go towards the top here, we can see one of the larger ones here is being a Cetus protocol. Cetus has been another one that's been a really strong performer, done really quite well so far. Overall, I mean, we can see kind of the top ones here being more stable coins, but going down, we can see, 11 billion within the SUI ecosystem. After that, 245 million for Cetus, 180 close to for Deepbook, and then from there, things get pretty small. We are seeing, some meme coins in here, Sudang, MemeFi, Blub, going down. We have others going through here, but overall, it's hard to say with the SUI ecosystem, because this is always what happens is a coin runs, and then people are like, ooh, well, SUI looks like it might win. Let's go find stuff within the SUI ecosystem that might win. So when people get to SUI, they already are essentially front running the secondary gainer. And I mean, this is kind of like tale as old as time, right? But the thing that's very, very difficult, in my opinion, with this type of thing is it's incredibly risky. I mean, you need to do tons of due diligence. Sometimes these projects are purely they're opportunists, right? They're purely looking to capitalize. If I'm looking to launch a project and all of the eyes are on SUI and Solana, I'm probably going to launch on SUI and Solana, and I'll just do it because I know that I'm probably going to get a ton of money and a ton of interest, and my coin's going to go nuts, all this type of stuff. So you have to be really, really careful when looking for projects within some of these smaller chains that are moving, because of that exact reason, right? You need to figure out who's for real and who is just kind of looking to pump and dump their coin under the guise of being a legit project. So that's something that's very, very important to always keep an eye on and make sure that you've got a pretty decent handle on that. If you don't, I would say only invest stuff that you expect to lose, because otherwise I would say you're kind of gambling. There's not really a much nicer way to put it, just because it's so risky going into something like this. If there's a really strong project coming out on Ethereum, right now Ethereum's not super sexy, right? And so you can feel relatively confident that team is probably going to be more legit than somebody else within the crypto ecosystem launching on SUI or whatever, Aptos, say any of these, because people there's hype, there's attention, there's narrative, there's a lot of this stuff where people are they're jumping into these chains because they expect them to be extremely high growth. I mean, SUI, if it matches the market cap of Solana, it's got about 10x to go from here. And so, if you look on Solana, I mean, it's got multi-billion-dollar projects. And so, if we're looking at something like Cetus, it's an easy 10 or 20x on their current market cap if they become, like the Radium or the Jupiter or anything like that. Also, Jupiter's done airdrops, so obviously people made a ton of money on Jupiter as well. So there's a lot of these types of things going on within these types of ecosystems as they start to move up. And so not only you're essentially taking a secondary risk than what you're, or I guess you could even say a tertiary risk than what you're normally doing just by being in crypto. So first off, the risk you're taking just by being in crypto is essentially the market risk, right? Does crypto win? If yes, you do well. If no, you do poorly. Then you're taking generally a secondary risk by being in crypto, which is, let's say, maybe Bitcoin's the only one that doesn't kind of fit into this. But let's say you want to invest in Ethereum. Well, you're taking now a concentration risk or a specific project risk by investing in that project, because crypto might do well, right? But let's say Solana truly is the ETH killer. Well, Ethereum might just bleed to Solana forever, and it 4K might be its all-time high, and it's never going to go past that. It's only going to go to 0 or whatever after that. So you're taking a secondary risk of essentially ecosystem risk, right? is Ethereum going to win? Is Solana going to win? Is Sui going to win? Is whatever going to win? And so when you're going in and trying to pick winners within the ecosystem, you're now essentially taking a tertiary risk, which is not only does crypto have to win, not only does the specific ecosystem that you're wanting to win need to win, but now thirdly, you need that specific project within that specific ecosystem to win. So it's very, very, very risky at that point. Hopefully you can see why it's a super risky way to play. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I mean, obviously there are people who do it all the time and people who make a ton of money. What I am saying though is you need to make sure that it's within like your risk profile as you're looking to invest, because this is something that you're essentially kind of adding on that third layer of risk. And if you don't really understand that or understand why, then you can get yourself in some hot water pretty quickly. And so anyway, I just want to talk a little bit about that. Hopefully you found the information in this video useful. If you did, please do give me a like and subscribe, because it really does help me out. Also, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything like that, please just drop them in the comment section below. I do try to read and respond to all of those if you have any questions or anything like that. So if you have anything you want me to see, that'd probably be a pretty good way to do so. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.